Sorry I'm a little quiet. I've got a really bad sore throat and stuff right now. I've been working on a little project, and I thought it'd be kind of cool to show you guys what it is that I'm working on. So without any further ado, I'll get right into it. I am working on a piece of chainmail. I haven't seen anybody do anything with this extensive with chainmail with Dragonscale. It's a nice piece of Dragonscale here that I'm working on. This stuff is painful to attach pieces of together, but it's pretty fun, and I'm going to show you the process. Alright, this is the work area. I have a drill, I have 2 mandrels, and 2 different sizes of wire, and I also have a pair of wire cutters and a pair of pliers. I have 14 gauge, it's a 1/4 mile spool 14 gauge fencing wire, and that is a 1/4 mile of 17 gauge fencing wire. That's just galvanized aluminum wire from like a tractor shop or something. And then I have a 1/4 inch mandrel in front, and I have a 3/8 inch mandrel in the back going through the spools there. Just something to note, my drill is a 1/2 inch bore drill, so I can go up to a 1/2 inch mandrel if I want to make something with slightly bigger links in the chain. Is you want to get your mandrel and insert it into your drill, and then just get that tightened down a little bit, and that's tightened down a little too far. And then once you got that, you'll want to grab your wire, and that's why the rod's there, is just hold that still. And I just take the wire and insert it, sorry the camera's moving, just insert it right through there, and then bend it back, so it's at like a 90-degree angle there. And then all I gotta do is squeeze the trigger, and if you're right-handed, you want to make your rings one way, and if you're left-handed, you want to make your rings another way. And my rings, the drill should go counterclockwise. So, and I am left-handed. But once you get that going, you just give the drill a little bit of a start. Try not to let it wrap up on itself, and then pull your wire tight. And at this point, I'll hold it with both feet there. And just pull it tight. And don't always get a messy start, but once you get it there, and you just wind it up. And there you have it. Once you get that done, all you have to do is just take your cutters, get around here behind the wire, snip it off there. And since I do this inside the bore, I don't actually have to cut my wire up here if I don't want to, because I can take it out. And my mandrel is slightly warped, so it doesn't come off very easy, so I'm not going to show you how to do that, but it should just slide off if your mandrel isn't warped. Alright, this is my work area, and this is the coil we just made. My work area consists of, I have a box, you see I have small rings, and then I have small closed rings, small open rings, and that's just a lot of cut rings of the larger gauge. This is the piece we just did. You'll see over here to my left you have 2 pair of pliers. I'm just using a pair of vice grips for one of my pairs of pliers. There's the piece I'm working on, and I have big coils and little coils, and I have a couple handheld smaller mandrels for various other projects that I've been working on. And I also have my trusty cutters. So in order to get this off the spool, you just take it and you give it a cut to get the straight piece off the end. It helps if you cut far enough down. And I'd save most of my aluminum trash. And then this cutter will do 4 small rings before it runs out of space. So 1, 2, and I messed up another cut, so that'll be the last cut of that. And then you just drop them in the cut rings and go back, cut again. And I can actually do multiple cuts with these cutters simultaneously too. But that only works on the small rings, not the big rings. Get another messed up one. And these cutters do provide, so we can get it to focus in on that, very, at least in my opinion, a very good edge for putting together. It's fairly straight. I'll show you a bigger ring, see if it'll focus in on that. It's got a lot of glow on it. Not used to working with this camera either. But anyway, and when you put them together, when you straighten them out, they go together quite nicely. Alright, so I've got some small rings here, and I've got some big rings. And what you want to do is you want to take your big rings, and you want to just give them a twist to get them opened up. You can see that. And I'm going to do a handful of those, and then I'll turn the video back on. Alright, so now you can see I've got these all opened up and all tangled up. And now the next thing you want to do is you're going to take your pliers again, and you want to close your small rings. So you want to just take them, give them a little twist the other way, and there you go. So it should be closed pretty smoothly. And I'm going to do a handful of those, and I'll turn the video back on again. Alright, so now you'll see I've got a set of open rings and a set of closed rings. And so now we go over to my chain, and I've already found where I was working last. Wherever you were at the end of your last time you're working, you should have a single ring just hanging loose there. So what we'll do is, sorry, the camera's bouncing around again. You'll take a open ring, one of your open big rings, and you'll attach it to one of your small rings, just like that. Then find your hanging ring, go through your hanging ring, so you cut your hanging ring, go through the next ring up from the hanging ring, which is the other ring on the right side of the ring you're working on, and then down through the back ring of the rings, a ring over, and then just clamp it down. And that's it. And now you've just got another ring hanging there. Alright, I started this piece a little bit short, and I've got it all laid out there now where you can see it without my legs and stuff in the way. So, there's the whole entire piece right there. And you'll notice a couple things. One of the things is where I'm working here. You'll see I have an angled piece here, and up here at the end I have an angled piece there. And that's kind of important when you're working with the Dragonscale chainmail, because the Dragonscale does not like to join together easily, and this is intended to go around my waist, and so the whole piece needs to fit from end to end, and it happens that it's a little bit short. So these angled pieces here make it a whole lot easier just to add on instead of having to suture. Once you get it closed off, like this end is, where it's closed in, it's all flat, it becomes very difficult to try to suture together. So you want to keep that, as long as you think you might need to add onto it, you want to keep some sort of angle there where you can work with it. Alright, now that that's all done, and you've kind of seen what's going on with it, I'm going to see if I can get you a better view of actually how I'm doing this. So I've got my empty ring hanging off right here, just one ring. So I want to do this right-handed. I want to take a ring, a big ring. I want to lace it through a small ring. So I've got a big ring and a small ring. And then I want to lace that through my empty ring and the other ring that's attached to the right side of that. And then I'm going to cross it over to the next string down. Sorry, I'm so used to using my left hand, I'm keep on using my left hand anyway. Then just close that ring up. Grab another ring. And I'm quite slow with using my right hand. Close it up. Alright, so that's how it's done. And this is, in case you're wondering, it is very flexible, but it's not too loose. It's not as loose as like your standard chainmail would be, your 4-in-1. It is a tighter weave than that. Comes out looking like dragon scales or fish scales. It is probably a more accurate way of describing it. And it is very, very flexible. So the aspect ratio has to be right for that in order to keep it flexible, not so stiff or too tight to work on. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial on doing Dragonscale chainmail. If you have any questions, post them, and I'll be glad to answer them. And if you want anything done, I may post a link with my email address or something so you can get a hold of me and get a quote on a piece or something if you want it. But I usually don't take custom orders right now. So thanks for watching.